Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage, and today we have a tool review for you guys. Now, my favorite time of the year to do tool reviews is from Black Friday to Christmas. A lot of tool companies put on these nice large toolkits for a pretty reasonably priced. So this is the CRAFTSMAN 242 piece SAE and metric kit. It's in their VERSASTACK system, and it is available right now on sale for $99. So that is an absolute steal, marked down from their original price at $230. And if you look at the front, it says there's like over $800 of value in here. So, I mean, that of course is if you buy everything separately, but let's open it up, let's take a look and see what it is like. So there's the toolbox. It has a lock mechanism here. It's a little turn screw. So if you leave that in lock position, none of these drawers will open. They all stay fairly shut. Now, one of the first things I always do when reviewing these kits, because you know what happens, when you have a mobile kit, I always take them and I turn them upside down. And we test to see how well everything stays put. Now, it sounded pretty good. So, of course, when we open it up, we'll see how everything's looking. So you've got 3 drawers. You have 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/2 inch drive. And this is designed so that you may take the drawers out. You can, of course, access it like this. It's a little hard to get in the back, but they are designed with these 2 push tabs so that you pull the tray out and it fits right on top of the box, real nice. So the 1/4 inch drive set comes with a ratchet. These are the CRAFTSMAN low profile ratchets. So with these you get a pretty slim fit in there. That's pretty nice, and the quick release is even flush, so you won't tap into that accidentally. The tooth count on this is pretty high. Sounds to me like I think it's a 72 ratchet. I believe all of these ratchets are 72 teeth. Pretty nice, This CRAFTSMAN stuff has come a long way. It is not like the old vintage raised panel ratchets, but the new ones are pretty nice. I do think they are nice tools. Sockets in here, you get 6-point sockets for 1/4 inch drive, metric and SAE. So in the shallow, you get 5/32 up to 9/16, and 4mm up to 13mm. And in deep, you get 5/32 up to 9/16 again. And in the metric, you get 4mm up to 12mm. It's a pretty good assortment. You also get these pieces here, which convert your screwdriver into your nut driver. So with that, you get 5 to 10mm and 5/32 to 5/16, which is pretty nice. Of course, you get your screwdriver handle. Pretty basic, but definitely a nice one. It's not a ratcheting model or anything like that, but it does have the magnetic bit in there. So when you put your piece in, it stays put, doesn't fall out on you, and it's pretty comfortable. I like the feel of this. It feels very natural. You get tons of screwdriver bits. This is, of course, how they get up to that 242 piece. But they don't really give you anything that you wouldn't need. Nowadays, you're going to see Phillips, you're going to see flathead, you're going to see hex socket bolts, you're going to see Torx. So you kind of need a lot of this stuff. Even the square drive, the Robertson drives are in here. So definitely a pretty good assortment. And then you get your Allen keys, of course, in these nice holders. I do appreciate that they give you the holders like this. So you get some short Allen keys and some deep Allen keys, both with SAE and in metric. So I like this design of the holder. It opens up like this, which makes it a little bit easier to get to the pieces in the front and the back. So you also get the little swivel joint and a 3-inch extension. So overall, I'm pretty happy with what they give you in here. I didn't see much for skips. There's no 12mm shallow. and in the deep you don't get anything above 12 millimeter. But other than that, I mean, it seems to be a pretty full kit. So let's move on to 3/8 drive. Here's the 3/8 drive drawer. We'll pull this one out as well. First thing that really shocked me in here is the Allen sockets. So you get metric and SAE Allen sockets. In metric you get 4 through 10. There is no 9. And in SAE you get 3/16 up to 3/8. Pretty good. Definitely cool that that stuff is included, because a lot of these kits don't have Allen sockets in there. That's pretty nice. You get shallow and deep sockets in 6-point as well. Metric you get 10 up to 19 millimeter, and in the deep you get 10 through 18. They do skip, oh, there's a 19 hidden up here. So they do skip a 16 as well as the 11. SAE you get 1/4 inch up to 7/8 in shallow, and 3/8 up to 7/8 in deep. So definitely a pretty good assortment there. You also get the swivel joint, the 3-inch extension, and the matching ratchet. I gotta say, I'm really impressed by these. You know, when they first started sending ratchets overseas, they came back and they were garbage. But these have a really nice feel to them. The low profile is definitely a good design. Everything feels well constructed, feels nice and tight. I think they have really gotten a hold on the production for these foreign-made kits. And for the price, you really can't complain at the value here. Last and final drawer is going to be the 1/2-inch drawer. Now, they don't give you much for 1/2-inch drive in this kit. This is also where they give you some wrenches and 3 extra storage drawers, which they have these little nut and bolt pictures in here, kind of suggesting that you can put your extra hardware in there, but you could put whatever you want in there. Sockets are kind of limited. So for SAE you get the 3/8 up to the 5/8 and 12-point, and then for metric you get 16, 17, 18, 19, and 21. But honestly, you know, for one of these kits, you shouldn't need anything smaller than the 16 millimeter, or else why wouldn't you be working in 3/8 drive? For SAE, you know, I would have liked to see something bigger than 5/8. I thought that was kind of a little bit shy of a stopping point. I mean, I would have rather seen them drop the 3/8 and the 7/16 and add in an 11/16 and a 3/4 and really a 7/8. But it's not bad. You get a 3-inch extension and you get 10 wrenches here. So SAE you get 11/32, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2-inch, and 9/16, and in metric you get 8, 10, 12, 13, and 14. So kind of limited there as well, but this is a compact kit, and for 99 bucks it's really not bad. If you want to see what the wrenches look like, you know, it's a full polished chrome. Looks to be, you know, a pretty nice quality. You know, it doesn't look cheaply made or anything like that. And it feels pretty sturdy. You know, they're not a super long wrench. They're, you know, kind of like a standard length wrench. But I'd say they would definitely get the job done if you're doing a little task. You know, for me, these kind of kits, this is something that, this is an on-the-go kit. Of course, they have their VERSASTACK system, so they expect you might bring this out to work with your other tools and stuff in case you need to fix something. For me, you know, these make great kits for the car or for the truck. You know, put it in the trunk, and when you need it, you need it. Usually what I do is I also keep an extra tool bag with me where I'll put in a breaker bar. I'll put in the correct socket to take the lug nuts off, a couple pairs of pliers, and just like a couple emergency things, you know, some duct tape and, you know, whatever you think you might need. Zip ties are definitely a big one. So, you know, for me, I see $99 worth of value here all day long. I think just the 3 ratchets, to me, with the swivels and the extensions, was worth that. Plus you get the Allen keys, the Allen sockets, tons of extra sockets, a whole toolbox organizer. So Personally, I would not pay the $230 price, but I'll pay the $99 price all day long. I think that if you're going to put a kit in your car, this is an excellent value. So hopefully some of you, if you're looking for something like this, might take the offer up at Lowe's. That's where I bought this for 99 bucks, and get yourself a nice kit. So before we end today's video, I wanted to throw in a little segment for my regular viewers. As they know, we do a lot of vintage tool hauls here, and everybody loves vintage tools. So I don't want to just do the new tools. I want to show you guys some old tools. So I picked up these tools in an estate sale the other day. We were actually driving around getting ready for snow plowing, and there was an estate sale, and I told Nick, I pull over, I gotta stop in. I'll be real quick. So I wasn't going in there to pick a lot, but I found these 9 pieces, and I paid 20 bucks. So that's like, just call it around $2 a piece. So let's take a look at what we found. First up, we have the Pexto logo here. So this is a Pexto tongs. Pretty decent shape, you know, for a tool that's probably around 100 years old. I thought that was pretty cool. Usually you see these and they're really worn out. The pin here isn't too bad. The jaws are nice, and it's not completely bent or rusted, so I thought that was an excellent pickup, especially at $2. Next up, I have an old Ford wrench. This is, I believe these were, I can't remember. I know I've had them before. They have these markings on here, which I believe are inch-long markings, and I think this might have had something to do with the servicing the fuel system, so that might have been like some kind of depth gauge, kind of multi-use thing. I can't remember exactly, but if you guys know, let me know. Leave it in the comments. This one has a lot of the original, what is probably Japanning on here. The black coating is still there. Not a lot of rust. Jaws, or the open ends of the wrench, look pretty good, so I was happy with that. Next up, we have a little Coase style wrench, but this is actually made by PS&W, which is the Peck, Stowe, and Wilcox company, which later turned into just Pexto. It's got a little bit of a bend to it, but the wooden handle pieces are nice here. On both sides, they're not cracked. They're still nice and tight, and they're there. The bend I can probably correct with the press, and it actually is fully operational, so even with the bend it still opens up all the way, and the jaws aren't too mangled. So, you know, these things, they got the crap kicked out of them. People use these things, you know, this was, I think it was designed to be a hammer, and people hammered on them. They torqued down on these things, and this old style steel just didn't resist the torque, and they would bend all the time. So that's definitely a cool piece. It's even got a patent number in there from 1898, January 14th, 1898. Next up, we got a little adjustable wrench. It's a 6-inch model, and it's the locking model. So this is a Williams patent design. So if I took this cover off here, we'd probably find a Williams logo down there. It's black oxide, looks to be in pretty good shape, and I think before we wrap the video up today, I'll just cut that off and show you guys, because I am going to cut that off because I want to see the logo underneath. Next up, S-curve wrench, Billings, 1417. You can't ever pass up a nice S-curve wrench. This one is still got legible size markings. No rust on it. I found this, you know, all this stuff came out of an old shed, and for $2, that's a winner. Next up, we have a push drill. Now this one is the number 41, North Brothers. They got this price sticker on here, but it does say North Brothers on it, and it's a Yankee push drill. Now, condition is okay. It does work. Definitely could use a little bit of lube, but one thing I always do if I'm going to pick these up in person is I pop the back open and I see how many bits are in there. Because if you only get 1 or 2 bits, you're not going to really be able to, you know, do much with it, whether or not you're just restoring it to be a complete set, or if you actually want to use it for some woodworking. or if you're looking to just resell it. But the bits, that's what makes this complete. So given that it was full of bits, I thought I was a steal at $2. Next up, I found this old CRAFTSMAN tin snips. Now you could see the pointed A logo here. So that puts this before 1968. I don't normally pick up old tin snips, but CRAFTSMAN, and it's definitely an old one. Thought that was a pretty nice find, definitely pretty cool. This would be definitely worthy of a restoration. Next up, a little unique wrench I found. So this is PNC 2332. It's a 1-inch 12-point box end wrench. And when I found this, I wasn't sure if this was a double box wrench that somebody might have chopped off and then knurled. You know, a good machinist could have done that, you know, to have a wrench for his lathe, to maybe tighten down his tailstock or make adjustments on something. But when I looked this up online, I found other examples of this with the same part number with the exact same knurled handle. So this was definitely made probably for a specific purpose. Possibly it could have been a lathe wrench or an iron worker's wrench or something like that. You know, somebody who just needed to turn one size nut or bolt over and over again. But I thought that was pretty cool. Don't normally find stuff like this. Now the last piece here today, it's a little bit of a mystery to me. So this is the Albert and J.M. Anderson Manufacturing Company out of Boston, Massachusetts. This is a complete brass, some kind of clamp. Now, I have no idea what this is. When I look up the company, they come up as a bicycle manufacturer or bicycle parts, something like that. Definitely looks like a clamp. Nick is thinking he can use it as a welding clamp, but I'm not sure if that was the intended purpose. If anybody has ever seen this before and knows what this is for, definitely leave it in the comments down below. We have this stud in the middle that you can screw in and out, and then we got this brass wing nut, 2 brass washers, and then this tapered piece here, and then these springs. Definitely unique. So I looked it up. I couldn't find anything on it. There was a forum where somebody was kind of wondering what it is, and other people were just guessing, but nobody had any concrete info. So let us know. That is it for the tool haul. Like I said, 20 bucks, 9 items, pretty good deal. I'm going to cut this off right now. I usually like to just take a razor blade and make an incision and then rip it off. Now I'm using a hook utility blade. I found that that kind of works pretty well for me. I do come across these adjustable wrenches all the time where they have the rubber vinyl grip on them and there's no writing on them. And I'm kind of a bare steel tool guy and I love my branding. I typically usually cut them off, and as you can see we have the J.H. Williams Company logo here, the part number ABL-6. Just needs a little bit of cleanup, but you know, one of the cool things when you do this, you could actually still see the logo on the reverse side of the vinyl here, and usually you'll find this mint condition underneath. This of course is a black oxide, so some moisture got in there and there's a little bit of surface rust, but you won't find any nicks or damage or anything because it's been on there its entire life. So it kind of gives you a kind of a nice clean slate to start with a tool restoration. So there you have it, guys. 9 tools from the estate sale. You guys all have to let me know what your favorite tool was, and we'll see which one is the winner. And if anybody has any information on the brass piece, then you're a winner. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tool review and the tool haul. We'll see you guys next week with another.